G'day folks, it's Trace here, the Irish Tarot Girl, and this is your Formula One predictions video. This has been a long time coming. I've been very busy, but here we are, 3 races from the end of the season, so it's time. So we're gonna ask some questions, get some answers, and see where we stand for the end of the season. Of course, the big question is, will Lando win the World Championship or will Oscar win the World Championship? I mean, we can throw a, will Max win in there, but I'm pretty sure he's out of it. But, you can never leave Max out of the equation because he's Max. So I have a few questions here. I'm going to draw 1 card for each question. And let's just see how we get on. So I'm using my movie tarot again. Movie Tarot, A Hero's Journey in 78 Cards by Natalie Foss and McMahon Collis. And I've already shuffled my cards, lots, and let's just get going. So the first question. Will the World Drivers' Championship come down to the last race in Abu Dhabi? So that's a nice yes or no question. Will the World Drivers' Championship come down to the last race in Abu Dhabi? The Emperor. I'm going to draw a clarifier. The Empress, interesting. Let's draw another one. The Magician. No, I think it will come down to the last race, in that one of them will be able to catch up. I think that's why we have the Emperor and the Empress here. But I think one of them is going to clearly have the upper hand. The Emperor and the Empress are basically 2 sides of the one coin, which is interesting because we have Oscar and Lando, both in McLaren, both under Papaya rules. They're both very stoic here. But I really feel like one of them has the upper hand. And I feel like this guy, who I suppose is in The Godfather, or is it Scarface? I don't know. He looks worried and does not look happy. The Empress looks a bit more in control, more confident, but they both look a bit worried. This guy, look at his face. Matt Damon, he's like, yeah, I know my shit. So I think it will come down to the last race, but I think one of them will already be winning and will already have the upper hand. So yes, it'll come down to the last race, but it may be kind of a foregone conclusion, if that makes any sense. So the next question, will there be team orders in the next 3 races? And of course, we're talking here about Papaya rules in McLaren. Will there be team orders in the next 3 races? And you know what? Let's pull a card for each race. They're my rules, so I can break the rules. When I said I was going to do 1 card for each question. Okay, let's see. 1 card for each. 1, 2, 3. So we have 8 of Wands. That's a yes card. So I think we're going to see some team orders in Las Vegas. I think after Las Vegas we have Qatar. 10 of Cups. That's another yes card. And we have Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is not knowing what to do. So they may contemplate having team orders in the last race, but they may not need to give team orders in the last race. So I feel like we have a yes, and a no for the last race. Interesting. So the next question is, will team orders affect the end result? Will team orders in McLaren, of course, affect the end result? Nine of coins. Yes, they will. Nine of coins is definitely a yes card. We have the colours of McLaren. All of that yellow. We have money. It's all about money. So, you know, McLaren are going to do what's right for their pockets. They have shareholders and owners and stuff to make happy. But yes, I think team orders will definitely affect the end result. And it's going to be all about money. At the end of the day, it always comes down to money, doesn't it? It's all about the money. It's all about the dum-dum-da-da-dum-dum. God, I loved that song. Can you tell? Right. Will anyone announce they're retiring at the end of the season? Will we have any announcements of retirements at the end of this current 2025 season? Five of Swords. Well, I think so. Like, it's a no card, but generally when I'm asking a question, I tend to go with what the card means rather than just it being a yes or no. So I think Five of Swords, there could definitely be someone who decides to call it quits. The Hermit, someone being out on their own, going internally to make a decision, trying to find the answer inside themselves. And Five of Wands. Five of Wands is usually, so this to me is someone who is battling against their team rather than battling against other drivers. So I think we might hear someone who is having team problems decide that they've had enough. This doesn't really give me an indication who it might be. Do we have a number 9 on the grid? I have to look that up. But I think that's a yes. I don't know why, but Yuki came to mind. So I don't know, when I saw that Hermit card, for some reason I had Yuki pop into my brain. Okay, funnily enough, the next question is, will Yuki be at Red Bull next year? Will we see Yuki at Red Bull next year? Knight of Swords. I'm feeling like this is a no. I mean, this guy doesn't look terribly happy. And it's funny, he has kind of Yuki's hair. And he has that, like, his necklace and everything. You know, the way Yuki has that kind of prickly vibe. He's very cantankerous, very contrary. Knight of Swords. I think he might be... Yeah, I think he might be on the way out of Red Bull anyway. So let's see, let's draw another card and see if he's not driving for Red Bull next year, will he still be in Formula One? Will Yuki still be in Formula One next season? Did I draw 2 cards by accident? No, I didn't. 9 of Wands. The boundaries card. 9 of Wands. No, I think this feels like boundaries up against him getting into any other team. I feel like a lot of drivers are locked in for next year. I don't know. I'm not getting great Yuki vibes from these cards. So my answer would be no. That we may not see Yuki next year. Okay. Will Isak Hajar be at Racing Bulls next year? Hajar and Racing Bulls, will he still be there in 2026? Ooh, the moon. There's things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's things happening that he may not even know about. And this, oh, weird. My scissors just moved all of their own accord. This to me feels like someone else having the final say over his, it's like, you know, someone else has his career in their hands and someone else making the decision. So let me pull another clarifier. Will Hajar be at Red Bull next year? Because to me, I'm getting a no off that card. Four of Coins. Four of Coins is all about guarding what you have, guarding your talents. I feel like Racing Bulls might want to hold on to him. I feel like Racing Bulls may not want him to go to Red Bull because he has so much talent. And let's face it, the second seat at Red Bull is cursed. And every driver who has been in that second Red Bull seat has choked. Not of their own, like, not their fault, just the way the car's set up. A bit like Ferrari, you know, I call it the team that champions go to die at. So I feel like there's moves being made to move him from Racing Bulls to Red Bull. But I think the team want to hold on to him. I think the team know what they have, they know he's talented, and they want to keep him. So I don't think the decision is made yet. I mean, I don't know, I haven't heard anything announced, but I think they do want to hold on to him. So the question then is, will Hajar be at Red Bull next year? Will Hajar replace Yuki at Red Bull next year? I hope not, because he's such a talent and I would hate to see him go the way of all the other number 2 Red Bull drivers. That seat is where talent goes to die. Okay, is Hajar going to end up in the Yuki Red Bull seat? Two of Cups. Well, that's a yes card. And it may work out. Him and Max might actually do a good job together. So despite the fact that, you know, there's a lot going on, Racing Bulls want to hold on to him, I think if he moves, it might be a good move. He might be the one to break that curse. Yes, Come on, Isaac. I do like him. I think he's a great driver and he's a good guy. Okay, and now on to the questions on everybody's lips, including my own. Will Lando or Oscar win the Drivers' World Championship? So let's go with Lando first, since Lando is my man. Right, will Lando win the 2025 Drivers' World Championship? Will Lando Norris, whoa, boop, 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 boop. My cards went freaky there. Okay, let's fix them. Okay, let's try that again. Will Lando Norris win the 2025 Drivers' World Championship? Come on, Lando. You ready for it? Let's go. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. That's a positive card. The Knight of Cups is a yes card. So this is from The Princess Bride. When Wesley is the Dread Pirate Roberts. And this feels like Lando has really gotten his shit together this season. Mentally, emotionally, he has reined it all in and he is so with it. He's just, I don't know if he did like Roman Grosjean and like went to see a sports psychologist or something, but he just has learned how to deal with all of the stress and all of the emotions. And as a fellow Scorpio, because Lando's birthdays are in mine, I know how emotions can affect everything. And I feel like he has done an awful lot of work on himself this year to get to a place where he has put on like this suit of armor and become somebody else when he gets in that car. He's still a nice guy, a bit like Sebastian Vettel. Still a lovely guy, still funny, still all the things, but an amazing driver who is going to win, but who isn't going to sacrifice his self and who he is at the core for winning, unlike some other drivers. And that's what I'm getting from this card. The way Wesley became Dread Pirate Roberts. He was still Wesley, but everyone was afraid of him. There was this big myth around him. And he could get people to do what he wanted them to do. And just over time, he changed who he was on the outside to get what he wanted. But he was still Wesley. And so I feel like this is a yes card. The thing is, it's not like a king. It's not a king energy. It's not a like major arcana, like major life event thing. So I feel like even if he does win, this will not define him. This will not be his like, oh my God, I've won the Drivers' World Championship like Nico Rosberg. I'm done. I'm getting out of here. That was hell. I'm never doing that again. This isn't going to define him. This is going to be part of his life. This is going to be like the pinnacle, but it's not going to define him, which I love about Lando. So this to me is a yes card. And like, as you can see, like getting the World Driving Championship Cup, I'll have to look and see what the trophy is like for the actual, you know, Drivers' Championship. Right. Will Oscar win the 2025 Drivers' World Championship? And if we get a yes card, we know that we have a fight on our hands. And that anything can still happen. Will Oscar Piastri win the Drivers' World Championship this year. And I read the cards as I see them, so if it comes out yes, I'm going to say yes. Will Oscar Piastri win the Drivers' World Championship? Let's see. Da, 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 da. Ace of Wands. Ooh. Well, that's a yes card too. It's going to be a fight. Now, I'll be honest with you. I get more of a yes, Oscar's going to win it than I do Lando's going to win it from these cards. But this guy is very, like, putting up a boundary. Like, stop, don't go any further. And then we have the papaya behind him. I'm getting more of an Oscar's gonna win than I am from Lando. And I feel like it fits because the knight is not a hugely mature, you know, king or even a queen. Whereas this Ace of Wands is like ace, boom, winner. And this guy's putting up stop signs saying like, go no further. So let's draw a couple of clarifiers. Okay. Okay, I need a couple of clarifiers for Lando. Will Lando win? Give me some clarifiers, please. Will Lando win the Drivers' World Championship? Okay, we have a couple of clarifiers here. And then will Oscar win? Because, you know, he could win the race, the last race of the season, and Lando could still win the Drivers' World Championship. So that could happen. And that could be why there's two yes cards. Tarot is not an exact science, my friends. That's why we're called readers. Okay, will Oscar win the Drivers' World Championship? Okay, let's see what we got here. So for Lando, we have Three of Swords. Ooh. And the Knight of Coins. So Three of Swords, heartbreak, sorrow, ouch. And Knight of Coins, movement but slow, steady progress and movement. Two knights, movement but ultimately heartbreak. And then for Oscar we have Queen of Swords and Four of Swords. Right, so they both get some swords cards, which is very interesting. This card is a card of heartbreak, sorrow, pain, and this one is similar in that it means recuperation. It like comes after this card, so it means recuperation, rejuvenation, healing. Sometimes it can mean like a hospital stay or like just getting over an illness or a period of mental anxiety or worry. These are not happy, happy, joy, joy cards, which I find very interesting. There's no like celebratory cards. There's no like victory, like Four of Wands or the world, or it's almost like no one's happy. And I'm not sure what that means. So I think I wonder, are they going to crash into each other again? Since they both got swords cards. Movement, Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, Four of Swords. I get more that Oscar is more likely to win from these cards than Lando. But I feel like no one's going to be happy about it. I hope it's not going to be another Abu Dhabi situation like we had with Max and Lewis a few years back. I don't know, these cards don't fill me with joy. So I think what I might do is maybe in a few weeks' time, with 2 races to go, I might do another check-in and see what the cards say. Because this is a bit confusing. It's still a bit like it could be anyone's. I'm feeling like it's more Oscars, but I feel like they both might have their issues. So that was my last question. Sorry it hasn't been more of a clarifier. I'm as confused and annoyed that I haven't got more of a clear answer, as I'm sure you are, but we will do another check-in and see what comes up. But thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me this afternoon. I hope you like this video. I hope you like these cards. I absolutely love these cards. And I hope you enjoy the last 3 races of the season, because I really feel like we're going to have a nail biter on our hands. Something's going to happen and people are not going to be happy about it. I feel like someone's going to win and people are not going to be happy as to how they've won. And yeah, let's just see in a few weeks what comes up. So this has been your Formula One predictions video for the 2025 season. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I wish you a wonderful, spectacular Formula One filled week. Take care.